E-cigarettes are electronic cigarettes with a battery-powered device. E-cigarettes does not contain tobacco, but contains nicotine, which is addictive, along with some other harmful chemicals. According to the CDC, e-cigarettes has led to the deaths of 42 people and the lung injury of over 2,000 people. In order to control the online sales of e-cigarette to teenagers and young people, Rosa DeLauro, a representative of the 3rd Congressional District in Connecticut, introduced a bill to control or prevent the online sales of e-cigarettes to young people. The surge in the sale of online cigarettes has resulted in increased psychological, medical, and physical health complications in teenagers and children. Due to these adverse health effects, the need for e-cigarette sales regulation through the e-commerce platform is imperative. Here are the 3 objectives for the presentation. I would like to spend some time talking about the physical, psychological, and emotional effects of e-cigarettes. One of the things that occur with the use of e-cigarette is explosion of the battery, which can cause burns and injury to the face or even to the hands and the chest. This could cause disfiguration, especially of the face, and have psychological effects because now, as a teenager, you have to deal with changes in body image. On an emotional level, you could become separated from your friends and your family because of addiction. So it's really important that teenagers and the youth in general understand that using e-cigarettes, even though it might look harmless, it can be very harmful. Bill H.R. 3942, also known as the Preventing Online Sales of E-Cigarettes to Children Act, was introduced to prevent the sale of e-cigarettes to youths and other children online. The legislation was designed with the intention to provide a transparent regulatory structure for the sale of e-cigarettes online. The general problem right now is that there is no FDA regulation of e-cigarettes, and just about anyone, including minors, can order or buy e-cigarettes because no real ID verification is required. The bill was motivated mostly by the increase in use of e-cigarettes by 12th graders from 27.8% in 2017 to 37.73% in 2018. This bill that was sponsored by Rosa DeLauro is now at the federal level and will require on-sale sellers to observe federal and tax laws. Bill H.R. 3942 was first introduced on July 24th, 2019, and on October 28th of 2019, the bill was passed in the House and moved to the Senate. If this bill attains enough votes, it will be forwarded to the President for signing into an official law. The pros and cons of this bill. Pros first. It will decrease youth injury and death among youths and young children, or even adults. Okay. The bill strives to fight e-cigarette addiction in children, especially the students who tend to use it frequently. Cons. It encourages the use of traditional cigarettes that contains large amounts of nicotine and other harmful effects. And it also increases collusion between children and adult people in terms of the sales of e-cigarettes. I support this bill, and because I understand the impact that e-cigarettes can have on the growing minds of teenagers in terms of memory, concentration, and learning. Many e-liquids contain harmful chemicals such as formaldehyde and benzene, which are known carcinogens. They also contain heavy metal like tin and nickel and lead, and also many different irritants, which right now are causing a lot of lung problems and leading even to cancer. So I definitely would like to see some type of regulation so that young people cannot have easy access, because many of the companies that sell e-cigarettes, they don't ask for IDs and they don't ask age, because the industry right now is not regulated by the FDA. So they can easily target young people to sell these products and not worry. I just think it's unethical, and I hope that we can get the signature of the president to make it a law. In summary, the online sales of e-cigarettes has drastically increased over the past 2 years. The sale of e-cigarettes is mostly done through e-commerce platforms to avoid detection. In order to protect our youth, teens, and young children, a bill was introduced by Rosa DeLauro called H.R. 3942, or the Preventing Online Sales of E-Cigarettes to Children Act, which is seeking to prevent the online sales of e-cigarettes to children. Presently, children are being targeted because there is no regulation on e-cigarettes in terms of age or presentation of IDs or anything before it could be sold. We hope that the President will sign this into a law because the act was already passed in the House of Representatives. It's now sitting in the Senate, and the only next step is for it to move on to the President once it's accepted in the Senate to become a law.